Hey guys, I didn't say that earlier, happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, June 27th, 2019. I can't believe it. Today's the first time we've done a TED show since May, so we took a little bit of sabbatical. Super excited to be back. I'm here with my friend Greg Flower. So let us know you can hear us or see us. I know you guys are getting back into the swing of things. I'm watching the show, so I'd love it if you told me, give me a heart or a thumbs up. I know all you people that like to hide yourself. Did you know that number up there, that there's no number, doesn't tell you the real number of people? Joy's on. Hi, Joy. Give us a thumbs up. Oh, see, we already got it. So we got a heart. That means they can hear us or see us. So welcome. We've been trying to do this show for a while. My schedule is insane, and so I appreciate you being flexible. But I'm super excited that you are here. So tell us a little bit about you. Everybody likes the origin story, and we talked a little bit about it. I can't wait to embellish a little bit on where you're from and where you lived. So thanks for coming on, Greg.
Thank you for having me. We appreciate it. It took a little while to get here, but we got here. I was born in Long Island, New York.
Long Island.
Long Island, on the South Shore. Parents moved out east of Long Island, and I got married. I was about 20. Yeah, just 20. I wasn't even 21 yet when we got married.
You were a baby.
Yeah, I was a baby. We actually had to get a letter from our parents.
That was back in the day.
We had to get a letter from our parents because we were under 21 years old, and I presented to the priest so we could get married in the church.
I love it.
And
but you lived in what kind of island? Long Island, surely. I'm sure I'm saying it bad. You lived in Orange County, New York.
Yes,
I also lived in Orange County, New York. Middletown, Circleville. You lived in Bloomingburg. That's right. I have not been back there in so long. It's crazy.
First, we lived in a little town called Maybrook.
Maybrook.
We lived
still Orange County.
Still Orange County. And then we moved up to Bloomingburg.
I love it. And then what made you make the move? What did you do before? Because people like the origin story. So you obviously weren't born and became a realtor.
No.
What did you do in the early days? You're 20, you're married. What are you working on? What are you doing?
Oh boy, I did a lot of little jobs. I worked for Brunswick Corporation. I was their youngest assistant manager in Queens.
Tell people what Brunswick Corporation
Brunswick
is.
Corporation, well, it was a bowling alley.
That's
basically.
right.
We were a bowling alley. And our district was comprised of 9 different bowling alleys, and I worked in Americana Lanes, which was one of their biggest bowling centers.
In Queens?
Queens on Americana Boulevard. Yeah. And that was Karen and I's first apartment. We lived top 2 floors in a Victorian in Queens, in Ozone Park, Queens.
Back in the day, nowadays, can you imagine how much that brownstone apartment thing goes for? It's crazy, the market up there.
Yeah, we had wonderful landlords, Cookie and Vic, took good care of us.
How could they not be called Cookie and Vic? Cookie.
And then Karen and I, we moved back out to Long Island, had a couple of little apartments out there, and then we decided it's time to make the move and look for a house, and that's when we moved to upstate New York.
And we were talking about this. You were technically, because anybody who's from up there, there's an upstate and then there's a real upstate,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you were on the verge of upstate, which
yes,
is...
we were in the foothills of upstate.
The foothills.
We were in the lower Hudson Valley.
And what did you want to do? How did you... Because you're growing a family, you have 2 children,
mm-hmm.
correct? And so you're in there, you're young newlyweds, you're trying to figure out what to do. Being the youngest manager, assistant manager,
yes,
general
assistant
manager.
manager.
So for Brunswick, so you obviously have some goals, you want to do some things. Did you know at that time what you wanted to do with your life?
No, not at all. Let's see, I did that. I worked for a government contractor called Harris Corporation, which is now in, I think, Melbourne.
Yeah, Harris.
And I worked there for a little while. Then we moved upstate. I became a communications worker. I started working for a cable TV company called TKR Cable in Rockland County.
I love Rockland County. I have tons of family in Rockland. Suffern. I love that county. So tell us, how do you make the leap, though? Because I think a lot, and this will be good for anybody who's, especially the younger kids. Hey, what's up, Tyler? They think they have to have their lives, they know it, and you have to know it right now, and it has to make $100,000 a year and 6 figures, and if you don't get that, then you're not successful.
Well, there's more to the story, because after I left the cable TV company, my wife had gotten sick for a little while, so I had to be close to home, so I took a second shift job right around the corner from where we were in a smelting plant of all things. I worked in
What is a smelting
Well,
plant?
we processed zinc.
Fish.
No, not schmelz.
Oh, schmelt. Of smelt.
We process zinc for zinc alloy. for razor blade companies, car companies, and things like that. So it was raw materials that we just melted down and made into ingots and
2 jobs.
No, just one job. It was a second shift job. Because I had to be home for my wife in the morning.
Oh, that's right, because she wasn't
Feeling well. I go to work, which was a minute away from my house, and come home at 11:30, get things tucked away, and so I could take care of her the next morning. But she's gotten better through years of seeing a chiropractor. Took care of us, and became very good friends with them. Moved to upstate New York, further upstate, and started working for the phone company, Frontier Communications, which now a lot of people in Florida know Frontier because they just bought all of Tampa.
Wow.
So,
What were you doing for them?
Installation and repair, outside, climbing poles.
So what are you thinking this whole time? This is the part, when people go on a big journey like that,
Mhm.
so you've had, I can't even count how many, all right? We've made a bunch of career moves. You're in that, and then is there some dream or something that you wanted to do in the back of your mind?
Wow.
Or are you just going through it because you've got a wife that needs to be taken care of? I don't know if you have kids at this point or don't.
Yes.
Okay, so you have children at this point. So
Yes.
are you just going through the motions?
I made a good career at Frontier. I worked there for 18 years and made good money working there. But the winters were getting brutal in upstate New York. Our last 2 winters, we had over 24 inches of snow on the ground.
I don't know how anybody does it.
Freezing. And
I really
I
don't.
worked outside, but I enjoyed the cold weather, believe it or not. Now I'm in Florida. But one time, we always came down to visit my wife's sister who's lived here for about 30 years now. And one time we're sitting at the airport, and I was looking at the job boards, and I said, I could probably find work down here. And that was it. The for sale sign went up on the house.
So Karen was waiting for that moment?
Yes,
Yeah,
she
she
was. The aha
was.
moment, as it were.
Isn't that funny? Because I know I was born in New Jersey, lived in Orange County, New York, lived up there. And people will ask me, well, you lived in it, so what was the big deal? Like, why did you want to get out of it? But you don't understand what it's like when you're trying to live your life in that freezing cold.
It's exhausting.
And I didn't even do it as an adult. I can't imagine as an adult. I remember watching my parents with the salt on the road, and you had all of these extra things that we don't have to deal with down here in Orlando. Plus, it's overcast a lot. No offense, but it really is.
November through January, it's gray.
It's not my happy place. So here, at least, even if it's cloudy, the skies are blue. Hey, Andy Brown, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Andy.
See Snow forced Tyler to leave Rhode Island, and I think people don't realize what an impact that has on your daily life and your psyche.
Yeah, it's exhausting. You get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, bundle up, go out, shovel the snow, do the driveway, do the decks, get so sweaty, go back in, get redressed for work, go out to work in the snow all day long, come home. Usually it snowed during the day. Sometimes you had to go home, take care of the driveway again, eat dinner, pass out, get up the next day, do it all over again.
Because think about that. Is that what you want? What do we have to do here? Granted, it's 900 degrees. I get it. But all you have to do is go from the air conditioning in your car to the air conditioning in the building. I mean, it's usually a short walk. We don't have all of that extra stuff that we have to deal with. You can't drive on a road that has a ton of snow on it unless there's a snow plow, or you have somebody who's going to snow shovel. What's up, Carlos? Snow shovel it off and try to make it so because if you slip and fall in that's the other thing people don't realize.
Yeah.
It looks all pretty, but it's icy and it's slippery and it's melty and it's wet and it's cold, and then you're trying to deal with that and try to figure out your life. I was not a happy child, not in that arena. All right, so you put the house up for sale and you come here. What did you do?
Sat around for a little while on my laurels a little bit, and started looking for jobs. Opened up a handyman business for a little while. Ran a handyman business with a friend of mine around the corner that actually tiled and painted the inside of a house I'm currently living in now. So we decided to start a little business. And he was a little bit older than me, so things just went the way they went. And then I decided to get into real estate.
All right, so how do you just decide? People always say that. I'm always amazed, right?
There's a story behind that.
There's got to be a story, because I think that real estate is attractive to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then to take the leap, there has to be something that motivated you, that sparked it, that said, all right, now I'm ready to do it. So give us your story.
So when our realtor here who found our house for us, her name is Loretta Mamoni, and she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Everybody knows Loretta, and she found our house for us, and we became good friends. one day she had some surgery on her eye and she couldn't drive. So she says, I don't know, I have customers, I got to drive around, look for a house. She goes, I can't drive, I don't know what I'm going to do. I volunteered to drive her around.
Because you're a nice guy.
Yeah, you know, you help people out when they can. That's, you know, what we're all about. So she couldn't believe it because nobody from our office even offered to drive her around, but I did. So I took her out that Saturday. You know, I got dressed up for her, and I drove her around with her customers, and we were all over Claremont all day long. And she turned around to me. She goes, you know, you wouldn't be a bad realtor. You should consider getting into real estate. And I don't know, that sparked a little something in my head. And I remember my grandfather telling me, of all the people that I remember when I was a kid, he said, Greg, I don't care what you do in life. He says, as long as it has something to do with real estate. So between those two things together, that's how I got into real estate.
Isn't that fascinating? It just takes that one person to kind of like give you the push. And sometimes you're thinking about something, right? Maybe you're not. Sometimes people are just going about their business and then somebody says, you know what? You could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it takes. So what happened? How was that journey?
That was fun. It really was. I find out from Loretta what I needed to do, and
She's a phenomenal human being.
she's a phenomenal
So
realtor.
the fact that she would mentor, which is what most phenomenal human beings do, you
Mhm.
mentor people and you try to figure out how to help
Yep.
because you've been given that hand up, so you want to give somebody else the hand up.
Loretta pointed me in the right direction, and she told me what I needed to do. So I got an online course, and I tried to do the online course, and I won't say the name of the school I tried to do.
I like that you said course. It brings me back. Forget about
I get
it.
teased about that every once in a
No,
while.
I love it. It brings me back home.
So I couldn't do the online course. I don't learn that way. And it was just, couldn't do it. So I went and on the internet and I found our very good friend, Andy Brown.
Andy Brown.
Clymer School of Real Estate. And it was one of the best learning experiences I've ever had. And I've been to 1,000 schools and through training, through telephone and cable TV and what have you. And Andy is one of the best instructors there is out there. And his
Andy,
whole
did you
school-
hear that?
Yeah, I'm sure
I
he
know
did.
he's listening. No, but I agree with you. I think you have to, first of all, you have to find the right match. But the great thing about what Andy and Pam do and what they create at the Clymer School is it's that heart and soul. Like they really, really, really want you to get it,
Yeah.
and they want you to be successful, and they care about
Right.
you.
And the way they teach, you learn
Yeah,
and
you
you
do.
remember. And that's where we met.
That's correct.
That's
We
right.
did. Were you were there the day? Was that the day that I came and spoke, or was that the day that I did the show?
You did both, I think.
I did, didn't
Yes,
I?
you
I
did
think I
both that
did.
day.
Yeah, that was a kind.
little show.
Andy took a chance on a crazy guy with a crazy jacket and said, "You should come do this." But what's great about that is that's what he wants. He wants you guys to have the experience.
Mhm.
And when you're coming into any business, what you want is to have that mentorship, that group of people who are going to support you in a way that actually makes sense, not book stuff, right? So we can all read a book, we can all take a test, but you need to have that interaction, that bounce off, that family environment, that real trust and loyalty,
Mhm.
and that's what the Clymer School and Andy and Pam create,
Right.
I believe.
And I did pass my test on the very
Hallelujah,
first time.
see?
I got 100 on it.
As you should, because that's what they do. They create it, and so I love that, and I love that. So you take it though, right? So you're in, you get your
Yeah.
thing, you're golden.
Right.
Then you write $1 million a month.
Yeah.
So that's what a lot of other people, and that's why I'm laughing about it. But people say, "Oh, well, all realtors make, they must make 100,000, $1 million, 6 figures a month." Remember, you still have to work, people. So how was that getting out? Did you have the contacts? Did you
No.
have a plan in place?
Oh, no. I thought exactly what everybody else did. I'm going to go out and make $1 million selling real estate.
I'm telling
So,
you, it's the norm.
There's
It's crazy,
more to
but
the
it's
story.
norm.
So what happened is, first we're real estate investors, my wife and I.
Very nice.
we-
And what does that mean for people
Basically,
who
is
don't know?
we take distressed homes, we buy them, we fix them up, and we resell them. So we make, what my wife says, we make homes out of houses.
No,
So,
I like that. I
And
like
that's the name, that's my Rock Solid Property Solutions business. That's our investment business. So through there, we were trained through Fortune Builders. It's Than Merrill's group. It's a national group of real estate investors. We get all our education from them. So locally,
fantastic.
locally we belong to a Nerd Night group. It's Nerd Night Orlando. There's also Nerd Night Jacksonville and Nerd Night
Did
Tampa.
you invite me to that? I haven't been yet, but I think I get invites for that.
You probably do, but you don't show up. I don't understand why.
Oh,
You're
give
very
me,
busy
Give
doing
me a
your
hard
show.
time. I like it. I need it. It's good.
So first, we're real estate investors. So as real estate investors, you need access, and how do you get leads? How do you find these houses? So I was elected out of our team of 3 to get my real estate license. So that's how Now I became a real estate license. So
it.
I didn't expect to be a regular real estate agent. I expected to be a real estate investor who has access to the MLS, and that's how I'm going to find my deals. Well, again, a learning experience. You have to hang your license with a broker. So luckily, the gentleman who runs our Nerd Night group, Richard Rutledge, has a real estate.
I love Richard. I haven't seen him in 1,000 years.
That's because you don't come to our Nerd Night.
And he's only
meetings.
12, so the 1,000 years is something. Hello, Richard.
So
you hung it there. Is that
I
Mills
hung it-
Park?
That's
or?
Mills Park Realty.
Okay.
And that's how I'm the real estate agent.
I love it. So what was different about going into traditional retail real estate from investing? Thanks, Madeline. I appreciate you. How was that different?
Different from real estate investing?
Yeah, because you're used to buying, getting the house in, fixing it up, and moving it along.
Right.
Traditional is about the traditional buyer and
Right.
seller. So
Right.
you've got to figure all that out.
I wish I could explain it because I don't. It's very difficult. It's literally two different businesses that I'm
Completely
trying to
different.
run both of them along with my wife and my son. That we're trying to get this together to work. So it's a challenge for me right now, trying to find leads, trying to find listings, trying to find buyers and things like
Well,
that.
it also, I mean, we were talking about it before the show went live. It's an interesting time right now because we're in the height of summer.
Right.
You can tell it at every business I'm at, including the Citrus Club, which is where we're at now. Very quiet. People want to go on their vacations and they don't want to think about bills, money, real estate, or anything. But I think the market itself is also changing. You're seeing a lot of other factors come into play. You're seeing other entities come into play that are non-traditional, that are playing in the traditional market. And so you have the consumers getting hit with, meaning the buyers and sellers, getting hit with all these other opportunities. I'll put quotes around that. To do things differently and it sounds real pretty. And of course, my personal opinion, I've got tons of those on that particular scenario. But I think it's so important to have a real estate agent in the transaction, because I think it is very, very bad decision to try to do it on your own.
I agree.
I have FSBOs that we work with, for sale by owner, and my biggest thing to them always is, who's your realtor? I don't have a realtor, that's why I'm a FSBO. I want you to really think about this. Do you know how to fill out a contract? Do you know what you're doing? The other people don't care about you, by the way, in the other side of the transaction. So don't think everybody's all angels and unicorns in this. So why would you? Oh, there's Richard Rutledge.
Hey, Rich.
What's up, Rich? We were just talking about you. But I think it's so important to have a professional. So what are some of the things that you're doing in the market? What are you doing to generate leads? Because I think you have a lot of people out here who would watch, who would say, you know what? I get it. I'm kind of in there, Greg. What are you doing so we can try to figure it out together?
Well, what we're trying to figure out now is, actually what we think we figured out is networking. I'm part of a lot of little network groups. I'm part of the GoRia groups. I'm part of Nerd Night networking group. I'm part of Fortune Builders. I recently joined TNG, which is the Tangerine Networking Group locally in Mount Dora, where I live. And just every group I can get of, also going to the Rotary Club of Mount Dora also, and sitting in there, I hope to become a Rotarian, I think they call it.
A Rotarian. I think that's so important. So let's talk a little bit about that, because I
Sure.
think people get caught up and they have to do everything industry driven. And what I try to encourage people, realtors in general, it's great if you want to socialize. But if you're really trying to build your business, you want a great mix of that. So you want to get outside of that comfort zone of just going to a real estate only place. So the fact that Greg's involved in Rotary, which is very service oriented, very speaking oriented, that is outside of the normal real estate 9 dots. And this should apply to anybody who's got a business and you're trying to figure out how you want to build your business. You want to get outside of the things that are the norm. Go to networking events that are not, don't say real estate on them, for example, for realtors. Same with the mortgage people. I always tell my loan officers, look, you've got to go to other things. You've got to go to charity events. You've got to go to downtown events where we're talking about the State of the Union in Orange County, which Rick Singh has coming up in August. You want to go to events where it is about interacting with human beings, because me as a loan officer, you as a realtor, everybody is a potential client. Everybody's a potential buyer or seller. And so you want to be there, you want to kind of network, and everybody knows somebody who's buying or selling.
Yeah,
and so if you limit yourself just to real estate or just to industry specific events, you're not doing yourself any service in growing your business, in my opinion.
Agreed.
So what else, what do you do what is TNG? Because I'm fascinated by that one.
TNG is the Tangerine Networking Group, which I just found out about.
Tangerine, see, these are things I don't know, that's why I have to ask.
That's because you live way down here.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
I live in northern Orange County. So anyway, TNG is basically local businesses down in Tangerine, Tavares, Mount Dora. They get together early in the morning.
Tangerine.
Yes.
Did you all know we had a Tangerine in Orange
In
County?
Orange County. You have to.
It's kind of like, yeah, there's a lot of little places you guys don't know.
Right. So anyway, it's all the local business people that get together. They exchange cards, they exchange thoughts. It's not lead generation or anything like that, just getting to know people. And they get to know you, they're gonna go, oh, Sally needs a realtor. Hey, Greg's in our group, go talk to Greg. And that's all it's about, is just referring each other's business. If I need, I don't know, let's say they have an acupuncturist in our group, and if I'm looking for an acupuncturist, I'll probably go to her, because she's in my
It's
group.
that tip, but you're getting to know people, you're getting to know people in your community.
Yes.
And so if you want to make an impact, remember, it's not all about buying leads too. What's up, Louis? It's not about buying leads. So there's a lot of opportunities for that in our industries,
Yes.
but also in other industries. And so what I encourage people to do is, again, it's the balance of all of that.
Yeah.
You want to have a part of it as lead gen, you're buying leads, great. But if you're missing out on the networking part outside of the real estate industry, then you're missing out. If all you're doing is just networking and you're not doing anything in the real estate industry, you're also missing out. So there has to be a really cool balance. Now, how is it when you're working family, because you have your wife and your son in the business?
My wife is the hub of the business, basically. She cracks the whip and keeps us going.
Nice.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say she's the saint.
She is a saint. She's an angel. We're married 37 years.
Wow.
We must be
That's
doing something
awesome.
right.
You must be.
But she is the driving force in our business.
And so is she more behind the scenes?
Yes, she does not like to be in front of the camera. She wants to be behind the camera.
Gotcha.
Even when we do our videos at our property, we have a project going on right now in Winter Park, 1811 Bryan Avenue, which is actually on the market now for sale.
Nice.
But I do the videos for that, and she's like, "No, I don't want to be in the video. It's all you. Go ahead." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." I'll pass by and say, "Hey, say hi,
Hi, Karen."
But that's
And
it.
what's your son's role?
My son is, he's going to be, this project was huge, so what my son does.
It was huge.
It was huge. It was a 1,200 square foot house, and now it's 3,300 square foot under air.
Wow.
Over 4,000 total square feet under roof. We hired a GC to run this project, so my son's job on the smaller jobs that we get.
There's your beautiful
I'll show you
wife.
say hi to Ted, but not to me.
Hi, Karen.
So my son's job is going to be basically project managing, possibly bringing in contractors. Everybody wants to know my son. It's hysterical. We'll go someplace. We'll go to Pisces Rising on the lake there, and he'll meet us. He'll go ahead, and sometimes he'll work the crowd, and he'll come in.
Nice.
Hey, I met a pool guy. I met a screen guy. I met a roof guy, and he is. We used
So you
to
all
call him.
complement each other really
Yeah.
well.
I think.
Which it's good, because I think sometimes when you are, partnerships in general are difficult, but when you're working with family, it can be a little bit difficult, because then you never leave it. It really doesn't ever get left. No, even if you go home, it's still sort of there.
Hi, honey.
You got a hi, honey. She heard you. Yeah, but I love that, because I think a lot of people. Oh, we got a
What's up,
hand.
Richard?
What's
Got
up,
high
Rich?
fives from
We got
Richard.
high fives from Richard. I haven't seen Richard. I met him here at the club. Did you come up here, Rich? I can't remember. But he was a wee lad then too. But super driven and super smart, and very
Yes, he is.
forward thinking in what he does and how he gets into the market and kind of dives into it, which is really cool. All right, what's the long range goal for you? What do you guys want to do? What are the 3 of you, the 4 of you, the 10 of you, if Rich is involved? What do you want to do?
Karen and I want to flip a few houses, make some money, buy a lot of buy and holds, and have rental properties that'll pay us money coming in, passive income as it's called, and that'll be our retirement.
I love it.
Gonna live on that.
And then what are you going to do? Eat a lot of good things in Mount Dora? Travel?
Not so much travel. We're not travelers. Yeah.
No,
we're
interesting.
not travelers. We might go here and there, day trips.
I mean, you don't know that yet because Karen's the one that put the sign on the house, Karen, apparently.
No,
and she wanted to move down to or Florida real quick out of that snow.
Yeah, moving is not a problem for Karen. Traveling, we don't like. Well, I shouldn't say don't like. We're not really into the travel.
Well, your grandbaby's here.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, that's what, I'm ready for grandchildren. I keep putting that out to my
We're
kids.
day trippers.
You're day trippers.
We're day trippers.
Yeah.
We'll take a trip out to the West Coast, go to Tampa, go on the East Coast, go to Daytona or something like that, or New Smyrna, and hang out for a day. We might, Fortune Builders has a lot of boot camps all over the nation.
Tell us about Fortune Builders real quick before I head into the end.
Fortune
Tell me
Builders
about
basically
Fortune
got us starting out in investment, and it's all education. Than Merrill, Paul
I love Than, so yeah,
Paul
he does.
and J.D. Athasian started Fortune Builders, I guess it's like 14 years ago now.
And are these videos that you watch, or these conferences that you go to, are they?
It's conferences that we go to now, the boot camps, and like I said, and going back to traveling. Our first year, we went to Baltimore for a week. We went to New Orleans for 4 or 5 days. So places we wouldn't have gone to if it wasn't for Fortune Builders.
Sure.
So, in that case, okay, yeah, we traveled.
You traveled. Karen's like, I just want to tell you, we're going to travel a little bit more. No, but when you have that base, especially you have grandchildren, again, I'm ready. You want to stay around. You want to stick around.
And Justin and I went to their end of year party, our first year in Vegas for 3 days, and Richard came with us as well.
Nice.
And that's their Ignite, that big end of year party, start your next year party type of thing. So, but Fortune Builders is all education based and training.
Which is
training.
obviously important to you, and the training is important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the best training is doing.
The best training is doing, but you still have to keep up on the trends
Yes.
and things like
Yes,
that. And I think
yes.
people get so caught up in the day in and day out minutia of what they're trying to accomplish and
Mhm.
trying to get the goals, trying to sell the house, that they forget to do both.
Right.
You got to still catch up, because remember, there's this whole world going on around outside of you,
Mhm.
and you have to still try to catch up. You still have to keep up with your counterparts.
Right. The thing we love about Fortune Builders too, it's not all money. It's all helping others. It's people first, profit second type of thing, and that's what we like about it. Karen and I are, do unto others as you would like to have others do unto you type of people. So to do the right thing type of people, helping people out of bad situations, people who need to get out of their home and need some money to get out of their home. So helping them out that way is what we love about Fortune Builders.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to share all of Greg's contact information, and he's going to do it really good because we talked about it earlier. How you can reach out to him. I mean, he's obviously accessible and he wants to help. He's got that mentor, servant leadership kind of heart, which is awesome. Catherine Garcia says, "Go, Greg, go."
Thank you, Catherine.
And I think it's so important to have that, and I want people to know when they come on the show, we talk about this a little bit. I want people to be able to reach out. I not only want him to benefit, but I want his experience and his expertise and his trial and error that he and Karen have gone through. You want to be blessed with it, and so that's what he wants to do. All right, any parting words of wisdom, anything you want to share with them before we head out?
No, basically, I said it before. Basically, the golden rule: do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You see somebody that needs some help, stop and help them.
Amen to that. And then who are we saying hi to for the video challenge?
The video challenge. Oh, that's Krista Marchand. Hi, Krista.
Just in case later, he did it. We did the video. I know you did one earlier, but we did this one. You've been a joy to have on. You're such a joy. I mean, he's such a great guy. These are the kind of people that you want to work with, that you want to be mentored by, that you want to figure out if you're trying to make a change, whether it's real estate or not. You've got somebody who's going to help out, and so reach out to Greg. Obviously, he and Karen and their family are very accessible, and that's what I love to see. So thanks for being on the show, buddy. I appreciate you.
Thank you so
We
much
love
for
you
having me.
guys. We will be back tomorrow. I've never done a show like this, but I want to talk about it for a second. It's called House of Chicken, and chicken is not spelled like chicken.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know what I'm eating, but Christopher, I'm expecting to eat something delicious. So we shall see how this goes tomorrow. Hope you guys tune in. Thanks for being here with me and Greg. We love you guys. We'll see you soon. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Bye.